Yo, how's it going, guys? So today I'm going to do a full strip down rebuild of this GT Timberline. Seems to have pretty good bones to it. It's obviously missing tires, pretty rusty chain. It's got this nasty seat cover on it. Frame paint looks in fairly decent condition. Try to get rid of some of the marks. Not too much rust that I can see of. It's chromo tubing, 4130, the All Terra GT model. Chain's pretty knackered, pretty rusty. Cranksets seem decent. Front mech seems fine. Gonna try save the cassette, remove a bit of the rust. Rear mech seems fine. Wheels seem okay, little buckles, so I have a go at trimming those. Probably replace the cables. Try get rid of some of the corrosion on the handlebars, so I'll show you guys how I go about that. I'll try keep it as original as possible, so only replace what's necessary. The brakes and shifters and stuff all work, so I'll keep that. Obviously add some grips and some tires, and yeah, let's crack on with it. So as always with bottom brackets and old steel frames, they tend to be pretty seized in there. I had a little bit of trouble getting off the non-drive side cup, so I encouraged it with a bit of WD-40 and then tried from the drive side and put quite a bit of force into it, and luckily for me this time it released. So when it comes to buying bikes with saddle covers, there's always this element of surprise of what kind of saddle could be underneath. Sometimes they're pretty terrible and sometimes they're pretty nice. This time it's a perfectly usable saddle, but I'd already planned to replace it anyway, so I'll save this one for another build. So this little cable guide bolt was giving me a little bit of trouble as well. Probably didn't help that the bottom bracket was a bit rusty, so this one was pretty rusted in there. Couldn't really get enough purchase with just a Phillips head, so got a bigger wrench with a nice flathead piece and luckily managed to get it loose. So now that I've stripped absolutely everything off the bike, I just give it a good clean down with muck off. Pretty good on the hard grease and dirt. Pretty happy with actually how it's turned out. Frame condition is a lot nicer than I expected it to be. Paint still has a nice shine to it, no fading or anything. You know, a few bumps and bruises here, but overall pretty happy. So I've got all the parts laid out on the bench now. I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning them up. I'm going to start with polishing the seat post. So what I use to clean up the aluminium is this Autosol metal polish and the back of a sponge. It's really good at getting rid of the oxidization, rust marks and blemishes, and yeah, it really starts to shine really quickly. It doesn't really take much, but the longer you go, the shinier it gets. So this here is less than 20 seconds of polishing, and you can already see the difference. So these are the handlebars, and they've got quite a bit of oxidization, and I think it's got a slight clear coat over it, so I'm going to go ahead and sand it. I'll show you the before and after, and the final result is no more than 5 minutes of sanding and polishing. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with this. You can obviously go longer and spend a lot more time on it, get a polishing wheel and you'll get it to like a mirror finish, but this is clean enough and shiny enough for me. So this is the buckle I was talking about earlier. This is in the rear wheel. There's quite a few big flat spots, so I'm going to have a go at truing it to my best and see how it comes out. So yeah, unfortunately I think the rim's actually quite damaged. I had to go at truing it and it was throwing the spokes out of tension too much and not really doing anything. So yeah, luckily I've got another wheel set, these ones here in the garage, so I'll swap those out and they'll fit in perfectly. So I didn't want to bore you guys with all the footage of the cleaning, so here's what they look like after a nice clean and polish. I've got all the parts ready for the assembly now, and I've got some nice new Maxxis Tanwall DTH 2.3 tyres. I'm pretty excited to see how they look on this bike, so yeah, let's start the reassembly. So I went for a new Shimano bottom bracket because the old one was pretty knackered and rusty. I also made sure to clean out the bottom bracket shell and re-grease it. Now this was a moment I was looking forward to. Super happy with how it looks. Stoked. And here we are, super stoked how it turned out, how the tires and the saddle and everything just wrap together and just work really nicely. Let me know your guys' opinions, what you guys would change, if anything. Yeah, let's take it for a spin. Let's try it out.